Since you hit play on Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast today, I want to make sure that you know that our free self-love challenge is happening in February 2024 right here on the podcast. The goal of this challenge is to make creating an intentional practice of self-love even easier than ever simply by plugging in your earbuds and listening for about 10 minutes per day. But for the full experience, you're going to want to get the scorecard so you can enter the giveaways, get the daily journal prompts sent to your inbox, and join us for the live wrap-up podcast recording. Yes, you get to join me in the studio and record the podcast together live. It is all free. Go to wifeteachermommy.com/self-love challenge to sign up. Again, it is completely free. You'll get a daily reminder with the free 10-minute coaching each day and your journal prompt, and you will see a transformation over these 14 days. It is not only going to impact your relationship with yourself, but as I'll teach during the challenge, it is going to impact every single other relationship you have in your life, your relationship with other people, your relationship with teaching. That energy is going to impact every single other aspect of your life. So sign up at wifeteachermommy.com/self-love challenge. It's free. Now let's get to the episode. You are listening to episode number 76 of Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast. Get to know your teacher life coaches, Kelsey and Chrissy. In this unscripted episode, Chrissy and I are talking all about our collaboration, how we came together, and you really get to be a fly on the wall and see behind the scenes of our vision for helping teachers transform their lives with coaching. So let's go. Welcome to Wife Teacher Mommy, the podcast. I'm Kelsey Sorensen, a former elementary teacher and current homeschool mom. And even though I've been a resource creator since 2014, I've realized that printables alone aren't all you need in order to thrive as a teacher or homeschool parent. That's why I also created this show and got certified as a life coach to help you finally kick burnout to the curb and feel confident with whatever challenges come your way. With the right mindset strategies and new teaching inspiration, you're going to be well on your way to your best teacher life. Now let's go. What is up? I'm so excited to be here today and talking about one of my favorite things, which is coaching. And if you've been listening to this podcast, you may know that, but you may also be wondering, well, what is coaching? Like, I've listened to your podcast. I kind of like the advice I've heard or the golden nuggets that I've heard from the podcast, but coaching is different than just a podcast. It's not just me talking at you. And really what teacher life coaching is it's like tutoring, but the subject you're studying is yourself. You're kind of like seeing what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your body, and how is that impacting how you're teaching or how you're taking care of yourself or, just all the different aspects of our lives. Because what we're really trying to come together to do is bring you all the resources you need to confidently manage your kids, take your time back by planning ahead, and start loving your life again. And the printables, the resources, what you'd find on TPT or whatever are part of this. But really what I've found over the years of working with teachers, then even as we were doing a survey for the last Educate and Rejuvenate, is you need so much more than just printables. There's so much that's going on in your mind and your body and your life. And we're here to kind of help bridge that gap so you have everything that you need for success. So we are trying to help teachers who want to light a fire underneath themselves so you can better serve your kids, your classroom, and yourself. And kind of go from if you're, a burned out teacher who wants to love teaching again, or a homeschool mom who wants to do right by her kids, or an elementary educator trying to save time lesson planning, wherever you are now, we're here to kind of help you light that fire so you can get out of that endless cycle of solving others' problems, but not your own, and maybe lost sight of yourself, and you want to feel that joy-filled life, right? So we're here to kind of help you get from there to here, to where you aren't stuck in that endless cycle of all those things. Because you might be a wife, a teacher, or a mommy, but you are so many other things in your life too, and you might have even lost track of yourself. So we're here to help you navigate all of that. And that is what we're here to do with coaching. And Chrissy and I are here to talk to you all about it today. And as you'll hear in this episode, Chrissy and I will both be doing coaching at Educate and Rejuvenate. So you're getting more coaching this year than last year. Last year, we had Chrissy do some coaching in the afternoons each day. But this year, I actually plan on doing a workshop in the morning right after the keynotes with some live coaching after. So we're going to kind of be teaching these concepts to you and then doing a little coaching. And then Chrissy will do full on open coaching in the afternoon. So we're going to make sure we're going to try to coach as many people as we can, because last year at Educate and Rejuvenate, there were still people waiting and we ran out of time. And while, everyone can always come and get coaching in the club, we want to make sure that we serve as many people during Educate and Rejuvenate as we can. So we're really excited to be offering more coaching this year. But also on the podcast, I want to give you a little peek behind not just the Educate and Rejuvenate coaching, but what we're doing in general and what it looks like. And if you've been wondering kind of about the club or what coaching is, or if it's something that might help you, this just might be a really interesting episode for you to hear. Or if you just love hearing behind the scenes of things, like you love like documentaries and seeing like not just the finished product, but what's going on behind the scenes. This is really one of those episodes for you where we're just like pulling back that curtain and you can see what it's like for us to be putting this song for all of you. So really excited to be chatting with Chrissy Nichols today. As you'll hear, I hired her to come be a life coach in Wife Teacher Mommy Club before I was certified, and I'm certified now, and now we still have this awesome collab. So I want to introduce you to Chrissy before we hop into the interview, because you'll hear so much more over there. Okay, so Chrissy is a life coach for teachers. After more than 22 years in the classroom, Chrissy used the very tools she teaches to lose 26 pounds, meet the love of her life, and fall back in love with teaching. Chrissy works one-on-one with teachers to help them in three main areas: time, power, body balance, and relationships. Chrissy's tools and brain hacks help teachers see that there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They just need to learn how to rewire their brain. Chrissy helps teachers find joy in teaching again and get back to feeling like the best version of themselves. See how Chrissy's thought concepts become your concepts over at thechrissyconcept.com. Also, Chrissy is one of the incredible coaches inside Wife Teacher Mommy Club. So we love having her as part of the club too. So without further ado, let's get into today's interview. Okay, welcome, Chrissy, as if we haven't just been talking for the last 30 minutes, because we're like, wait, we should probably record the podcast before we both have other things we need to do. So really excited to be here with you today.
Thank you, Kelsey. It is always such a pleasure to see you, work with you, talk with you. I love everything we're doing in Wife Teacher Mommy.
Me too. So Chrissy, it's been a little bit since you've been on the podcast, even though I think this might be like your third or fourth time on the show, but it's been a while. So can you reintroduce yourself and also just kind of explain how we work together?
Yes, great questions. I'm Chrissy Nichols, and I am not only a teacher, but a life coach for teachers. The three main pillars or reasons or inspiration growth spaces that teachers come to me for are weight loss. So that's body balance, loving the body you have, or maybe losing weight if that is interesting to you. And you just want some more assistance with that. Time power. So how to gain your weekends back and stop grading, how to have more time and life school balance so that you don't always feel like if I'm a great teacher, I'm a bad spouse. And if I'm a great spouse, I'm a bad mom or a bad teacher. All of those things that go on for us. And really, really, I love coaching on relationships. And that is first relationship with self, relationship with colleagues. They could be great. They could be toxic. We look at all of that mind trauma, relationship with admin, busting through all of that, us versus them, and relationships with your students, with your parents. The list goes on and on. Teachers have so many relationships that are important in their days. So that's what I do. That's what I do every day. I still teach. I work a lot with students one-on-one, but when I'm not doing that, I am coaching my clients and looking inside their brain and creating change and seeing that progress and change over and over again. It's possible. But I think coaching is one of the number one ways, as you know, since you are also a coach, to really bust through some of those limiting beliefs when we think that we can never do something or this is just the way it is. We can always add that word, I'm thinking about Carol Dweck and her growth mindset, but you add that word of yet. So really harnessing the power of our brains, of our dopamine to stop procrastinating and to get whatever we want.
Yes, and I love that it's now been over a year since I reached out to you and I stalked you, and I kind of told that story, and I think it was episode 3 of the podcast, and reached out because I wanted to add coaching to the club. At the time, I was not a certified coach, and I thought that I didn't have time for that, which a year later, I'm now a certified coach. But I'm so grateful that we started that way because we built this incredible working relationship, and I've been able to see like how our members have benefited from this coaching and the work that you've done with them and continue to do with them. Now our members just have 2 coaches, which is great because I personally love learning from multiple life coaches. You get like different perspectives. And I love that we're able to kind of give that to our members too.
Yes, you asked the second part of that question was how we work together. Kelsey did come to me, and when she was ready to add so much value to the club, to wife, teacher, mommy, and add coaching, she came to me and said, "You're a teacher coach. Would you come on frequently and coach?" And I do that in 2 ways. The first is Ask a Coach, where members can type in any question 24 hours a day. Kelsey and I just happen to be in beautiful Utah, so we're on mountain time, but it's not a problem if you're in Alaska or on the East Coast, Boston, Florida. If you're on the West Coast, you type
Australia,
Australia, Europe.
Sweden. I had somebody from
Yes,
Sweden to join a coaching call when I did one during the day. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I need to add other times so we can like
yes.
accommodate. We want to make sure we're accommodating all our members.
Great idea. But yeah, so Ask a Coach, you can just type in your question and I give you a response. And then when we hop on the Zooms at Kelsey does sometimes we have guest coaches, and I also get to come on frequently with different topics. Sometimes it's just open coaching, and teachers just come with the minds that they have. And what I love about those moments are the ways, Kelsey, you tell me what you think, but all the ways that teachers bring their daily lives, right? They come to coaching with real stuff, with real problems, like my 6th graders are just so mean, or I get home and I have no more bandwidth for my family because I've been at school and I've been giving, 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 giving. Or I just can't stay out of the refrigerator from 4 to 6. And you had a great podcast episode with the great Corinne Crabtree about that, about how our cortisol levels at school get amped up and our anxiety and just the pace of our days as teachers in school. So much is coming at us that we go home and it's normal that we want some relief. We turn to the refrigerator, we turn to whatever buffer it is that makes us feel a little bit better. And I love when teachers come into the Zoom calls, into our coaching calls. And I find that even in a group setting, everybody learns from everybody else. In fact, in the chat, we often have teachers say, wow, that coaching, I was watching someone else, but she had my life. She was speaking to me. And I think that's what's amazing.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things I really love about group coaching. And now I love one-on-one coaching too. I feel like that's incredible and transformational. It's definitely a lot more of a financial investment. So I think that group coaching is the best way for teachers to start because they get to come in, see what coaching is, kind of even dip their toes in. Like if they're not ready to be coached themselves, you can still watch other people get coached or watch or listen after the fact. We make it really easy for you to consume the content because as soon as you join, you get the replays from a full year now of coaching. You get to check it out. But it just makes it really accessible. But also, when we come together as a community, you kind of get to see that you're not alone in this. Like other teachers are going through similar things, and we can learn so much from each other. And even just the validation that happens in the comments or cheering each other on for, being willing to be vulnerable. People have thanked the person for coming on because it helped them. So I just love seeing that.
I think the other thing that it does in a group setting, you really speak to the fact that it's a lot less scary when we get to do it with others. I know that when I barely first started this coaching journey, gosh, now probably 12 years ago, I, even as a client in my very first, like, what is coaching and what is this mindset work and how do I change my thoughts and what is all of this about? I was nervous, but being able to see in a group people come on with sometimes really vulnerable things, but sometimes just lighter things, right? Like coaching, I think sometimes we think, oh, I've got to really have heavy stuff to come to coaching. And I love it when my teachers come and they say, you know what? I had an amazing day and I had an amazing lesson, and I just want to create more of that. And I'm like, great, let's just use that as our emotional fuel of pride or delight or joy or excitement for our craft to create more of that. So I think it's also really important for us to see in a group way how other people use it and what they bring to it, because your way is always the right way. Everybody's different. So when we get coached, we just get to use the coaching the best way that works for us.
Yeah, and you can bring anything, like you said. It can be really light. It can be like something that is more of an everyday occurrence, like, oh, I'm just struggling with this certain student with this behavior or whatever. Things like that. That has come up a lot. Or one I coached on, actually coached multiple members on when I was doing my one-on-one, when I was working on my certification, was about like, oh, I had the bad class, or like, these students are lazy, and those like things they were telling themselves about their students that were actually making managing them a lot more challenging. And I actually ended up doing a full episode about that ended up being really popular because I think a lot of teachers can relate to that. So sometimes through coaching, I realized like, oh, this is what teachers need. And we're able to all help each other because there are those similar themes that are coming up. We will get right back to the show in just a moment, but since you're listening to this episode, I bet you will also love our summer event, Educate and Rejuvenate, happening on June 27th and 28th, 2023. With your ticket purchase, you'll get live keynotes with Joe Dombrowski, aka Mr. D, and Christina Kuzmich to laugh and feel inspired. You would normally pay up to $75 just to see one of these keynotes. You'll also get a full speaker lineup with over 70 incredible speakers with a teacher track and a parent track, so you can choose your own adventure, and these sessions are pre-recorded to do on your own time. You'll have 10 full days to enjoy the pre-recorded sessions with a general admission ticket, so you don't need to feel rushed. You'll also get live coaching with me and certified coach Chrissy Nichols. We have both been certified by the Life Coach School, so you'll know you are in good hands. You'll also get a Step It workout with Brianna Smith, the co-founder of Step It Fitness, and a yoga/meditation with Lizzie Langston from the Postpartum Coach to jumpstart each day. You'll also get a certificate of completion for the credit hours completed, so you might be able to use this as PD credit. All of this is just $19. It is a total steal. So go to educateandrejuvenate.com to grab your ticket today.
Can I just say one more amazing thing about the club? And gang, I would never say this unless I believed in the work, but I will tell you in my own private practice at thechrissyconcept.com, if you want to go visit. We'll link in the show notes. And to Kelsey's amazing episode about thoughts we think about our students, thoughts we think about our classes, because I think that was a really good episode. So let's make sure we link to that. But what's really amazing about having coaching in the club is, I work with a lot of teachers, but I'm starting to even pivot now in my business to principals and to heads of schools, and to say, look, I really believe that this is a valuable benefit. Like you should, like vision and dental and pension and everyone's retirement and health package. Mindset coaching has got to be a part of it, because we know already that we're facing a mental healthcare crisis of the mind with our students. We see anxiety levels rising. I mean, it's just a fact. It's science. It's been well documented by the CDC. So to give teachers the tools to manage their own minds and their own anxiety in the ever-changing and shifting world of education, so that they can also help their students manage their minds. What is amazing is I often see professional coaching for the heads of school, and let's call it sort of the C-suite of schools. But what we've done at Wife Teacher Mommy is we're really giving coaching and that mental health benefit that is priceless to the teachers who are in the trenches. And that is rare. I just don't see many other organizations giving it directly to the teachers at a price point that is frankly unbeatable. Because when you hire a coach one-on-one, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. But when you can come to and there's a place for that. I think there's a real place for investing in yourself. I think there's a real place for telling your brain and your body, like, no, I am worth this. I'm showing up to my coach in accountability once a week. I think that's amazing. And if anybody has any questions, contact both of us. But at the same time, what we do in the club is we make that affordable, we make it reachable, we make it doable. And like one of my clients just said, she said, I love coming to the coaching calls in Wife Teacher Mommy. It's like having an IEP for my brain. And I was like, that is so brilliant, having this plan and having this, this way to jumpstart your week so that the Sunday scaries aren't so scary, so that the midweek slump is not such a slump, right? So I just think your affordability and your equity, making this really open to everybody, that's the part that makes me really proud to even be part of the Wife Teacher Mommy team. So I just want to say thank you for that. And y'all, Kelsey and I did not talk about this beforehand. I'm just really speaking from my heart that administrators, principals, heads of schools, maybe folks at the district often get a benefit like this. But the ones really in the trenches, really doing the work, really in the classrooms, that's you all. You need it too.
You do. Yes. And that is why we do this. That's why we're doing what we do. And also, we are incorporating it at Educate and Rejuvenate too. So you don't even have to like join the club in order to get coached. We are putting on this awesome event that if you've been listening to the podcast, you've probably heard about it.
Yeah, but speak more to the coaching aspect of Educate and Rejuvenate, because I think that is solid gold. Say more about that.
That is true, because I do feel like we've talked about like, all the presenters and the keynotes who are incredible and the workouts and just kind of trying to talk about all of it. But a really cool thing that we're doing, and we're actually adding in more coaching this year, which I'm excited about. And actually, Chrissy and I, like she mentioned, we did not map out this episode. Actually, like I literally, like neither of us, we don't have a doc we're looking at all. We're just like, oh, let's kind of talk about Educate, Rejuvenate and coaching or whatever. But Chrissy, hopefully you're good with this. But what we're planning on is, so we have the keynote in the morning. And then last year, I didn't do any like live teaching. I was pretty much on live like the whole day, which I've talked about, like, leading the sessions, or like I did like the club tour and things like that. But this year I want to do a live session after the keynote with some coaching after in the morning. So there's morning coaching there. And then just like last year, Chrissy did coaching in the afternoon, and we're keeping that. So you're getting morning and afternoon coaching. So Kelsey in the morning, Chrissy in the afternoon. So you get it at the beginning and the end of the day, and we get through more people, because last year we had people waiting and hoping to get coached and we didn't get to them. So I'm like, okay, we want to try to get to as many people as we can this year. So that is the plan.
That is really one of my goals, is to get to as many people as possible. And thank you for adding even more coaching in. Listen, I'm going to coach my face off. I'm going to stay on there longer. Whoever needs me, whoever needs Kelsey, like we're doing it. So
we are doing it.
I just think, Kelsey and I both attended the same, I think, best school in the business, the Life Coach School, for our training. And I know the integrity of the school. It's, a process that involves practicums and real studying and showing up. And we have to have managed minds first as human beings in order to hold the kind of space and to be the kind of blank page to take our clients through the 5 framework, which is the model, a foundation of our process. And you can learn more about that, of course, on the website, wifeteachermommy.com, see what is the model and how does it work. But if you're at all interested in the mind, and I know you all are, right? You love concepts. My business, the Chrissy Concept, is named because I want to give it to everybody. I want to make it the Kelsey Concept and the Carol Concept and the Tanya Concept, and really so that coaching becomes yours. But if you're at all interested in looking in your own mind so you can manage it for the tough times, the good times, the next year times, the summer times, really, really please come to Educate and Rejuvenate. If only for the coaching, it's such a good value.
Yes. And yeah, and like you said, usually coaching, you would pay like for one session, you might pay like $250 or more. And you're getting in for $19.99. There are 4 group coaching sessions during that time, plus the keynotes, who you would pay like $75 to see each of them, and all the other speakers. It's just so much value we packed into this one event. And honestly, we are charging as little as we can in order to put this on. There's a lot that goes into it. So we're really excited. Hope to see you there.
Kelsey, one thing I just wanted to add about last year's event and then the year-long progression I've seen. I watched teachers hop in to educate and rejuvenate. Maybe they had been kind of like looking at the club or, kind of observing it. Maybe they weren't yet members of the club or club members, but educate and rejuvenate, I know because I speak to them in our coaching calls on the regular, they said was a game changer because they walked away with real tools and real strategies that they could implement then. Not like, oh, I have to wait. No, they walked away with real tools to start changing their minds then, that they could apply to their mother, to their sister, to their spouse, to any relationship around. They'd already practiced from what they learned in Educate and Rejuvenate. And now I just see them busting through so many obstacles from that moment just by coming to the group coaching that we offer during the year. Like, I'll just give you a couple of real world examples. I had a teacher come on she's a club member and she loves the coaching. She's completely changed her relationship with food. Really, it's not even about dropping the weight. It's just really about not thinking about food all the time. And what is she going to eat when she goes through the faculty room? And what is she not going to eat when she sees cupcakes in there? And how is she going to not go through the drive through or go through the drive through on the way home and have her own back about it? We have another club member who also joined at Educate and Rejuvenate last year. She has completely decided to create a side business for herself that she loves, that she's excited about, that's going to create abundance and, of course, money for her family. And these are all things that I just think if teachers never came, if they never learned about looking inside their mind, if they never learned about thought work and that thoughts create a feeling in our bodies that drive an action and create a result for our lives, what we do, what we don't do, like these teachers would never have created these differences in their life or completely changed their relationship with their administrator or completely got neutral, maybe not like love and light, like unicorns with a toxic colleague, but they don't even see them as toxic anymore. They just see them as a colleague. So these kinds of shifts are possible and they do happen over the summer. So I just want to tell anyone who's even curious about it, it's like the best professional development you'll ever do.
Yes, and we're so excited about the coaching, and I'm just so grateful that you have been such a part of this journey for me and adding the coaching to the club. And last year, Educate and Rejuvenate, you were doing all the coaching since I wasn't certified yet, and I'm excited that this year they're just going to get even more coaching, and that we'll see even more progress with more people coming in to the event and learning about this, because my goal is for every teacher to know these tools and learn how to manage their mind and learn what is possible when they do. That it is possible to love teaching and find balance and not feel burned out all the time. And of course, feelings are going to come up. Like, we're human. And another thing we learned in our coach training is life is 50-50, but it's really making sure it is that 50-50 and that you are able to see the good in it as well. So I can't say enough good things about the coaching and the transformations that are possible with it.
Well, I know your mission, Kelsey, and it absolutely aligns with my mission. It's to serve as many teachers out there as possible, to get coaching out there, whether it's a benefit offered, that's my ultimate goal, by so many school districts and schools. So that is actually free. That is actually something that we start to create a coaching culture in schools, a coaching revolution in schools. I think a lot of the younger teachers that I see coming out of their certifications, like they know thought work, they understand thought work, and they just expect it on the regular. They do it for themselves in different ways. I just think this new generation is going to revolutionize education. And I know that's your business and that's my business. And this is the business that we're in. So we would just really want to serve as many people as possible. And I just think about like price of admission, not only in the club, but in Educate and Rejuvenate. And I'm like, wow, that's just like 4 lattes that I'm just not going to drink. And then I'm going to completely change my life by paying that, like it's just, what is the price of having a different relationship with the thoughts that you think? What is the value of realizing, oh, I'm not my thoughts, I'm the watcher of my thoughts? Oh, I can change everything at school. I don't have a bad quote unquote class. I just have a class with amazing students and beautiful brains, and they all are different. And isn't that amazing? So, again, really, our conversation today is not just about Educate and Rejuvenate, it's about the power of coaching and how it's changed my life. I will just share on a personal level. I was feeling so burnout. That is why I came to coaching, gosh, 6 years ago now. And my coach actually said, I came to coaching 6 years ago, and my coach then said, hey, I want you to fall back in love with teaching, or at least get to kind of a neutral spot with it before you decide to leave it or do something different. And that, I mean, I came to coaching to fall back in love with it. I did actually gain that goal for myself. And the sort of side offshoot symptomatic parts of that were also, I lost 26 pounds. I had been single for over a decade. I met the love of my life. We are now married. And my life is really different. I have freedom and space in my brain. My cortisol levels are lower. I actually feel like I'm not breathing in a rapid fire way during the day. I think I used to have this breathy, like always anxious breathing, and that's
Like this
gone.
rushed feeling. Yeah. We were just talking about that on our coaching call last night, actually.
Yeah. And I just don't have that anymore. I feel like I can manage my time. I create time. Um, I never really say I'm busy anymore. I mean, all things that friends and family have reflected back to me, like, wow, you are really different. I don't try to please anymore. I've just really gotten through a lot of those obstacles in my life. So, um, if this speaks to you at all, come to coaching.
We'd love to see you at Educate and Rejuvenate. And Chrissy, we'd love to hear really quick before we wrap up, what is
Yeah.
up over at the Chrissy Concept?
What is up over at the Chrissy Concept? Thanks for asking. Weight loss is up. A lot of weight loss is up, and we hope down actually with weight. I am starting a 4-week weight loss class. If you're interested, you can come to Instagram. I'm at Chrissy Concept there, or just visit my website, Chrissy Concept, CONCEPT.com. And of course, we'll have it in the show notes. But we're going to do weight loss for 4 weeks. And it's pretty much an unbeatable price. It's $97. And we're going to not only have some group coaching, but we're going to have some incredible, videos each week. We're going to have some tools. We're going to have amazing strategies so that you can start your summer, get a jump start in your summer with a bang, and really feel lighter in your body, oiled from within, but really learn those basic foundational skills of losing weight with your mind. It's not about the Whole30, although I think that's fabulous. It's not about, hitting the Orange Theory Fitness or whatever you're doing. All of that is fantastic, but it really starts with your brain. So that's what we're doing, May 1st.
So exciting.
Thank you. What's up over in Wife Teacher Mommy, except for Educate and Rejuvenate, of course. What else is new there?
Oh, well, Educate and Rejuvenate is the big thing. So we hope to see you there. And we've been working on launching our teacher planner, teacher life planner, which is awesome. But yeah, we're super excited about Educate and Rejuvenate. That's the big thing. If I were to tell you one thing, is to join us there. So super excited about that. And Chrissy, where can our listeners connect with you online as well?
Yes, online. I'm definitely on Facebook at the Chrissy Concept. You can find me on Insta at Chrissy Concept. You can always write me a snail mail OG email at thechrissyconcept@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chrissy, for your time. This has been so much fun to catch up, and we'll have to do this more. Thank you for coming on the show. And to everybody, if you have any questions for either of us, just reach out. We're always happy to chat with you.
Thanks so much for having me, Kelsey. It's always a pleasure to be with you and to remind teachers that you are so uniquely needed in this world. So thanks for doing what you do, and keep on keeping on.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And if you're ready to take the next step, come grab your ticket to join me at Educate and Rejuvenate, the education event of the year on June 27th and 28th, 2023. This year, we have 2 incredible live keynotes, Joe Dombrowski, aka Mr. D, and best-selling author and video creator Christina Kuzmich. We have over 60 incredible speakers speaking on topics such as math, language arts, reading, social emotional learning, classroom management, homeschooling, and tackling burnout. We start the day with a workout together each morning. We have panels with the presenters, and you'll even get to join live coaching with me, and even raise your hand if you would like to be coached. Plus, we give away tons of prizes throughout the event too. It is the best PD you could ever attend, and all of this is happening from the comfort of your own home. It's just $19 for a ticket, and past attendees have said that this is what finally lit a fire under them to enjoy teaching again, and that it was well worth every penny. Go to educateandrejuvenate.com to learn more about the 2023 event, or if you're listening to this later, that link will show you what's up next as we will continue to do events like this. I hope to see you at Educate and Rejuvenate.